Hi everyone. As I mentioned, being here at the Africa Green Economy Summit has really been interesting. We get to meet interesting people. And one of the people I met today is Jonathan, who's going to tell us a little bit more about who he is and what he does. Jonathan, thanks for spending time with us today. Please introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Fantastic, thank you. So I'm Jonathan Wilson. I'm here with Team AfTrack. We are very lucky to be one of the finalists in the Milk and Wet Safety Prize in the running for $1 million. So AfTrack is a concept. It is an economic and technical solution to food scarcity and energy access in Malawi. In Malawi, there is a major problem with agricultural growth. We have a hard pan that stretches down 300 to 400 millimeters. That's just rock solid earth. Very difficult to plant in, very difficult to grow anything in. This means that farmers are left in a situation where they're working a very small amount of topsoil and their yields really suffer. So what we've done is we've developed a system which involves a microgrid, involves a microelectric tractor and a specialized agricultural process called deep bed farming. This means that we can triple that smallholder's yield, which pushes them well over the subsistence limit and pushes them into profitability. Once they're in profitability, they have surplus income. That surplus income we can use to fund the microgrid so they can buy electricity, and we create a whole circular economy where we have now a sustainable energy access solution for Malawi and the rest of sub-Saharan Africa.
It sounds fascinating, and it sounds like it will obviously have a massive impact, with the growers and the farmers. I can only imagine that it'll do the same in as far as affordability and accessibility for, call it the customers of the farmers. Can you tell us a little bit more about just the design process and what makes your particular business and idea and concept that much more unique and high impact?
Absolutely. I mean, we've innovated throughout the entire process. The agricultural practice itself, deep bed farming, is a first. It's a brand new agricultural practice. We've done really well with that already. We have 30,000 farmers already on board, and we're showing this threefold increase reliably. Wow. So that's brilliant. And then on top of that, the tractor. The tractor has loads of innovations in it. It's a agricultural methodology that did not exist before. So we've designed an earth saw. The earth saw is realistically the only small-scale tooling that can get through this rock-solid earth to the depth that we need. And so it's a brand new agricultural process. The tractor has loads of innovative extras stuck on there as well. So we have a little inverter inside there. So the tractor works as its own energy vector. So those people that are too far away from the microgrid can take the tractor home with them. The tractor works as a power source where you can plug in fridges. It's got a built-in Wi-Fi access point, charge laptops from it. So we can add things like lighting, access to education outside of the normal agricultural hours. The microgrid as well, designed from the ground up to be really deployable and really low cost. We've designed a brand new frame system that comes completely flat packed, fits into the back of the solar panel, so it takes no extra space to ship around, because it's very difficult to deploy things into Malawi. And it assembles entirely by hand. It just bends into shape. It has no tools required, no fixings required. It can be assembled with one person by hand. So we've massively reduced the cost of deploying that microgrid as well. So what we're trying to get to is a low-cost, accessible solution for what is one of the most deprived communities in Africa.
Fantastic. And at which point are you then able to scale it to other countries? I mean, I can only imagine the rural communities in South Africa that can definitely utilize this. Oh, and not just rural, but peri-urban as well. I mean, I myself, I'm based in Soweto, and there's just endless landscape and land available to be utilized by communities. At which point are we then able to access your technology?
So the technology is designed to be fundamentally modular and fundamentally expandable. So our solar array is built of 1.3 kilowatt modules. Those are completely independent modules. So regardless of the size of the community, the size of the installation, you can put as many modules as you need to make a really robust energy solution. The tractor is designed to be very cheap to power, very cheap to get going, very cheap to buy, but also is designed to have modular tooling. So in a lot of sub-Saharan Africa, our tooling is perfect for getting through that solid ground. But there are some unique agricultural processes, such as growing tobacco, such as growing things like mangoes, which require different tooling. We have the ability to swap that out and make unique products for each individual unique environment. And I think when you can tailor something to that specific agricultural landscape, you can increase its effectiveness and you can decrease the cost because you're not buying the bits that you don't need.
Wonderful. I can only imagine that you've had challenges getting to this point, right? So what are some of the significant challenges that you guys have faced, and how have you overcome them?
We're a team that's split between the UK and Malawi, and we've, in the last 11 months, come from zero all the way to the point where we've got 2 fully built systems. One's already in Malawi, another has been demonstrated this week here in South Africa at Stellenbosch University, which has been a fantastic demonstration. And now that's also on its way to Malawi. So in the last 11 months, we've made enormous progress. And as you can imagine, that came with all of its own trials and tribulations. So we've had lots of technical evolution as we go along. So we've built prototypes, we've gone out, we've tested them, we've quite often broken them. And every time we've broken them, we've made design revisions and design changes to ensure that we are absolutely on point. We've worked really hard, and this is a challenge, on making sure that we get the correct dissemination from the communities in Malawi. So we've got the team at Tayeni who've been on the ground in the communities, talking to them, asking them exactly what they need to make sure that the product we're designing is perfectly tailored to that community. And that is a big challenge. It's a big dissemination challenge, it's a big integration challenge. And the team that we've got here at AfTrack has done fantastically.
Beautiful. Now, I'm not 100% clear on the stage. I know you're one of the finalists, and as far as the Milton Motsepe Prize is concerned, can you tell us exactly where you guys have been able to achieve and what the next steps are as far as the competition is concerned?
So we are very much feasibility stage. And so at the start of the Milton Motsepe Prize, we had a paper design, and we had lots of calculations showing that this was a really good idea, and we had an enthusiastic team. And that's about where we were. Since the 11 months, what we've done is we've done all of the engineering development, all of the additional innovation from our learning as we go along. We've built business models. We put everything together into one economic package so that it's ready to go. So we've got to the point now where we're really entering the feasibility stage, where we have 2 real-world systems operating. They've been through UK testing and are now into Malawi testing. So even though we are essentially still pre-seed, we are now developing very quickly towards that founding moment where the company becomes a commercial entity.
Beautiful. Jonathan, just in closing, our audience is made up of predominantly startups, small business owners, and business executives who work within corporates, and they want to innovate, right? They want to come up with new products, they want to achieve product market fit, even within existing established corporate businesses. What piece of advice do you have for this wide range of people, just in terms of them, starting something that's going to be high impact, and of course, just being able to overcome these grueling challenges that you've had to overcome over the last couple of years in this project?
I think very notably there is a very wide gap between a pre-seed company that's doing feasibility studies and an economic entity. That gap is quite difficult to bridge. You can bridge that with friends, with partners that are on board and essentially giving you grant funding, because at that point you don't have the continual revenue to prove that you're going to get a return. You can bridge that with sheer perseverance quite often. If you keep going out there, you keep meeting people, you keep talking to people, you keep making the links you need, eventually you will be able to gather the system data that you need in order to prove it as the commercial entity that it needs to become. So any product that you've got, any innovation that you've got, you have to wrap that business model around so that you can jump from this is a brilliant idea, and this is where we're at. We've got a brilliant idea, and now we're doing all of the work, the really hard work, to make sure that it's financially viable in the long term. Because any company that relies solely on grant funding will never get to that exponential growth.
Sure, because it's about profitability, sustainability, scalability, and the like.
Absolutely.
Jonathan, thank you very much. Folks, that's Jonathan Wilson from AfTrack. We do wish him all the best, and I hope that you'll take his words to heart and understand that you too can achieve the level of success they have. But like he said, there are pieces, there are ingredients to the success, and it takes hard work, dedication, finding problems that you can solve, and of course working with a great team that complements you and your ability to take these amazing ideas, put them to action, prove the concept, and of course find investors that will ensure your sustainability runway and the likes. Jonathan, thanks again, and all the best with the rest of the competition.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.